until I'm doing other stuff.
until you're doing like high intensity stuff. Yeah.
No, I get pretty crazy when I start talking about social media. I get worked up for sure.
There we go. Well, hopefully we get to that level today, and then Tyler has to come in and calm you down a little bit. But for everyone who's just tuning in, thanks for tuning in. I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend at Meme for Time. He is what can we call you? Social media guru? I still don't think you know what you're
Oh,
doing. You
no, I
just
don't like
know what
guru.
you're doing. Like, does that make
No,
sense?
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks and sharing whatever I've learned along the way.
Yeah. So the social media spaghetti throwing guy who throws stuff against the wall to see if it sticks, and then most of the time it does stick, and then he has the kind of respect for you guys to share it all for free for the most part on how he does it, when he does it, why he does it. And it correlates. There's a science behind it. I just don't think he actually knew what the science was ahead of time, and we're going to talk about that. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Rodrick Lopez. Rodrick, how are you
Yeah.
today?
Yeah, thanks. Doing great. What's funny is a lot of what you said is true. It's so funny to think that there's so many things that I've just learned along the way of building, Meme for Time, my personal Instagram, helping with Don't Buy Real Estate, helping with Paper Street Coffee, and just helping with, now my friends. I've got friends who I've been helping for over a year. They've gone from 6,000 to 30,000 to getting $5,000 brand deals. And then I listen to people much smarter than me, and they're like, make sure you're doing this with your content. I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have watched this video 3 years ago because I would have been doing it sooner.
Yeah. But then
Um,
there's some people, and we could talk about that more later. Some of the gurus out there have no idea like what they're doing, and you look at their pages, and it's evident, right? They have the fake followers, they have the
yep.
fake content, they have the fake likes, the fake comments, and you're like, all right, this is all fake. I'm going to stay in my lane, and we're going to get real results. And that takes us only to a certain extent, right? You're not paying for ads, you're not doing any of that stuff, but we'll talk about that later. But I wanted to rewind a little bit for
Okay.
5 minutes here on how I met you, basically. And a lot of you guys know this story if you've followed along with the journey, but I think it was what, year 8 now, 8 years ago?
Yeah, almost 8 years because it was 2016 when I started working at Power Keg.
So 2016, Roderick's working as a CrossFit coach at a gym called Power Keg. RIP Power Keg got flooded in some weird drain situation. You guys can look that up on the news. But I was living downtown. I stumbled onto the gym. He was my first ever real CrossFit coach. Right. I just went to the CrossFit Games, not as an athlete, but a audience member. My friend took me there, and he was like, "Hey, you got to go check out this sport. It's called CrossFit." I'm like, "Nah, it sounds lame." And he's like, "Just come with me. We can watch. It's athletes competing." I'm like, "All right, whatever." So I went, and just like every other person who sees CrossFit, the first thing I said was, "That doesn't look that hard. I can do all this. Let me go to a CrossFit gym." And so I walk into this gym, and here's this nerdy looking kid teaching the 5 a.m. class, 6 a.m. class, whatever I stumble into. And you were like, what, 24 at the time? How old are you now? 30?
I'm 31,
So
so
yeah, you were
years ago.
24. That's crazy to
That is
think
great.
about. You were some 24-year-old kid. You were selling me on some like membership and a dream and training, and so I was like, yeah, I like this guy. He seems cool. He had good energy. He knew what he was doing. He was actually in shape for the most part, and he was a good coach. Like he broke everything down, and that's how I met your mother. No, that's how I met Rodrick Lopez. And fast forward to today, he does social media. He barely coaches anymore, right? You don't even like coaching, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I love coaching a ton, but I've kind of tried to combine my passions. Coaching is you trade your time for money. And as everybody here probably wants to do it, you guys want to make money and you want to make sure that you're as efficient as you can be because if you're just wasting time constantly, you're not making any money and it's just your life's going to be a mess. So I'm tired of trading my time for money. I want to trade coaching, but still have my time. So
Yeah.
I'm about to be a dad.
Oh
I'm
man,
busy. Yeah, things are
don't
happening.
do it,
So
bro.
I want to make sure that I still can scratch the coaching itch, but combine my two passions. So social media is something I'm super passionate about. I enjoy the analytics. I love learning about it and trying new things. So yeah, kind of just combine the things that I enjoy.
Oh, cool. And then let's start with Meme for Time. That's your
Yeah,
main account, right? That's kind of what puts you on
my
the
baby.
map. How did
Yeah.
that start, even?
How did it start? Well, I used to post memes and stuff on my personal page, and no one really liked it. And now I understand why people kind of just getting annoyed. They're like, I followed you for you and the stuff that you're doing, not for random memes. So I ended up just starting this page. It was just pictures and stuff at first. And I started seeing other creators and I was like, man, I want to do that one day. I think that'd be super cool. And I just was like, well, fuck it. I just need to start, you know? So I just started posting stuff and you can go back and watch it. And it was embarrassing, but it was finally videos that I started making that people were actually sharing and commenting on and engaging with. So I used to think that I needed to make coaching videos that were like, when you're stretching your iliopsoas complex. It's like nobody cared about that stuff. But if I did it in a comedic way and I still had some sort of education combined, it was like entertainment, education. Again, now I know all these many years later, like, yeah, that's a secret formula. It's like you have to combine things that's engaging for your audience. So it can be just education, but then you have to make it some sort of engaging. So for me, entertainment is the way that I make it engaging.
Yeah. And then you started this page, it started to grow. You did it organically, no paid,
Yeah.
no bots, no nothing. And you're, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably one of the biggest non CrossFit athletes in the social media space. There's not too many people. I mean, people. I'm with you, and people are like, "Oh, you're the CrossFit guy." They don't even like. I don't know how they recognize you, but they do, and that leads me to believe that you've kind of put yourself out there enough to where now everyone knows you in the CrossFit space.
Yeah, I would say a good majority of like when I go to events, people just like, oh, it's the meme guy. Oh, it's the meme guy.
Yeah.
And people are pointing and hey, that guy makes, funny videos. The cool thing that has started to happen recently is I've been going to more events. I went to like this is like a fitness camp essentially, and people are like, oh, this guy actually he does work out.
It's
He
real,
doesn't
yeah.
just make memes. And then I got invited to be a guest coach during the CrossFit Games at one of the gyms locally. And so people are recognized like, oh, he has his level three, he has his bachelor's in kinesiology. Like he's not just the meme guy. The reason it's so easy for me to make relatable content is because I was a gym owner for 3 years. I've worked in a CrossFit gym. I've been a member. I've been a coach. I've been the owner. So I've been at every single area of the CrossFit ecosystem. So
Yeah, and then when it comes to most of the people on this channel or watching the Zoom are real estate guys, right? Girls and
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
You brought up a couple points, right? You mixed your passion with the things you like to do and how to make money, right? So I'm guessing real estate's not everyone's passion, but it's their job, right? It's our job, it's my job, and for them, they're trying to figure out how to put themselves out on the map. And you and I joke about this all the time. I think agents have the worst approach at social media,
yeah.
and that's why I kind of wanted to bring you on and teach these guys and girls how to kind of get themselves out there while still getting money, getting paid, and still
Yeah,
producing
absolutely.
content that's relevant. So, what would you give? Like, what's your
Yeah.
first tip for anyone in the real estate market right now? Investor, agent, loan officer. How do they gain traction on social media like you did with Meme for Time? I know it's not just doing memes, right?
Yeah, well, what's cool is I started the Massive Action Takers Instagram recently just to have kind of proof of concept and show people you guys can follow the whole journey. In my stories, like every day that when someone signs up for my community, I post it. So I'm showing people that I can generate leads, follow up with these leads, and close the leads. It's exactly the same as any other industry. If I'm a CrossFit gym owner, I'm trying to generate leads, follow up the leads, close the leads. Same thing with you guys. It's just higher ticket products. If I'm a loan officer, I need to find people who want loans. So I need to generate content that gets in front of the people that potentially would get a loan or buy a loan. And I actually have a whole I don't know if you want me to do it, but I have like slides that guides everybody through the process so they can kind of input. It's essentially I'm going to give you the framework on how you can do this. But
Can
I
you
really
share
want
you?
to
So you can
highlight.
share your screen right now, right? You
Yeah,
can.
I'm going
We
to
can
share
go.
it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I just
It's a
well, I
good
just want to
segue
hammer
into that.
down. I want to hammer down one more thing is I have a buddy. He has like 100 and something, 1,000 followers maybe, but his posts get like 9 likes. So it's not about engagement. It's about following up with leads and generating leads. He makes 13 grand a month on doing personal training, like one-on-one coaching, but it's not because his all this stuff is super engaging and like a million followers. It's because it's really directed towards the people he wants to sell. And then even though it's 9 likes, he DMs those 9 people and he follows up with them and he shows them results and he gives them value. And guess what? They sign up And then those 9 people tell other people. So you don't have to have a huge following to start this. And then again, my massive action take. I know Meme for Time has 112,000 followers. That's not relatable to anybody. Maybe, I mean, unless you have 110,000 followers, but more than likely you'll relate more to my massive action takers, which I have 400 followers that I've built in the last 2 weeks. And I'm literally just showing people like, look, this is what you do. It doesn't start with fancy, crazy videos. It's just me in my car talking to my phone, providing value to start some momentum. That's what everybody here should be doing. If you've already been posting consistently, excellent, you're crushing it. Now we can kind of like refine things. But if you can't even get yourself to start posting, you're going to be behind. So here, let me share my screen. I'm not going to waste you guys' time. We're just going to crank through this, and I'll answer any questions. Can you guys all see my screen? I can't hear anybody either.
No,
I
not
can't.
yet.
You can't see it.
Nope.
Hmm.
Can you see it?
Oh, I don't know how to share like the
There you
whole
go.
thing.
There it goes.
Okay.
I see it now.
Can I do this? Can you guys see it?
Yep. There you go.
All right, cool. Social media, nice. Let's do social media stuff. If you're driving, get better at driving with one hand and looking at your phone. So let's not waste time. Grab a piece of paper or open notes on your phone. Everybody here has no excuses not to do this. If you get to the end of this PowerPoint and you did nothing, Josh included, then you're not getting anything out of this. And you just came here and wasted your time. So don't waste your time. Josh, where's your phone at? Let's go. You're doing this too. Where is it? I can see you. I can see you now.
It's my
You
phone
zoom
is my
with your
screen,
phone.
so it's hard for me to see.
All right, whatever. Everybody, so you're gonna write your goal at the top of the paper or at the note.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use an example of your goal is to get 5 loans a month. So the thing is, you want to be super specific with your goal. And let me be frank with everybody. You don't want followers. You don't care about followers. You care about leads. And you care about getting the attention of the audience you want, which I'm going to show you. So get 5 loans a month. The more specific you are, the easier this next part is going to be. So I'll give you guys like a second. If anybody has questions on like, I don't know what my goal should be, or can you give me some ideas, just like raise your hand. And then I don't know who's moderating this, but then call on them so I can help out. So get everybody give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're like, all right, I wrote my goal. And if you don't have a goal already, you're really far behind. You should already know what you're wanting to do. All right, nobody gave me a thumbs up, so I'm gonna wait for another second. We got one thumbs up. We got some chats. All right, we got thumbs up. Perfect. Under your goal, you're gonna write as many actions you think you can think of that get you closer to your goal. So I made up some here. So luckily, if your goal is to get 5 loans a month, I tried to just make up some action items. I'll give you guys an example before I read these off. Is for my massive action takers group, I know that I'm going to generate at least 2 pieces of content a day, regardless of how edited or sexy. It's just if an idea comes in my head, I'm going to post it. I can reach out to 20 people. How do I choose those 20 people? Super easy. If they engage with my content, if they watched my story, like there's so many ways to just, oh, these people are maybe even a little bit interested. I can reach out. So I wrote down make a piece of content directed towards my audience, DM 20 potential clients or agents. Again, my goal being 5 loans, engage with 20 potential clients or agents. So these are people that may not have engaged with you, but you follow them or you know about them or they exist in the ecosystem. Or hint, hint, go on Don't Buy Real Estate's account, look at the comments or click on the likes and just click down 20 of those people. More than likely they're interested in real estate and they could have some sort of value to you. Create a free guide to help your audience, which if you don't know your audience yet, we're going to go over it. But I guarantee if you're here and you're a loan officer or real estate agent, there's resources that you have given to your clients in the past or you give to agents or whatever, something that's actually valuable to, not some like bullshit thing that's like, if are you buying a house? Yes, it's like that's not helping. Give me literally the steps that again your audience wants. And then DM all your current clients and engage with their content. You would be dumbfounded how important it is when people are like, I hear random people all the time, moms in the gym or like, can you believe this person unfollowed me? Like they're paying attention to what you're commenting on, what you're engaging with. So if you're the agent and you follow the people that you've worked with in the past, you see it's their birthday, say happy birthday, DM them, like just follow up. You guys all know that those people know people that might do a loan. All right. Hopefully you guys did. I forgot to ask for a thumbs up on that one. I'll give you guys an okay. Josh said he's ready, even though I didn't see him type anything. All right, who is your audience? We're going to reverse engineer this. I don't know if anybody here is brand new, but if you're brand new, then you're going to have to create a dream audience. Those of you who have worked with clients, and again, this doesn't matter what, if you're a loan officer, real estate agent, whatever. I want you to think right now about the 10 best people you've ever worked with. These are agents, clients, whatever. And more than likely, there's a few people that, like, right on the top of your head, you're like, damn, this person was fucking lit. Really enjoyed this person. This client was super easy. Like those people that you start working with, and you're like, holy crap, they signed the documents already. Oh wow, they already sent their this, they faxed me this, they gave me their income, whatever. So you're going to write down everything you can think of that they had in common. I just made up an example of people that I might want to work with if I was trying to get 5 loans a month. They're punctual. You want people who are on time, who are not wasting your time. I can't stand that. They make $100,000 per year. That's just an example. I don't know. Maybe your niche isn't 100,000 per year. Maybe it's people who are making less than 30 grand a year and they're first home buyers, and you have some sort of resources to give those to people. They value speed. Again, I don't want to work with somebody who's slow as hell. When I have ideas, I want them done. They sign contracts on time. We all know that getting someone to sign a DocuSign is just absolute headache. And then they have questions, and then it's 6 months, and the DocuSign it just expires, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's never gonna happen. Like at that point, you're like, man, I'll just go find a different person that's easier to work with. Their loans were greater than 500,000. Maybe you're going towards a specific clientele. Maybe their credit score is 700. Again, you might want to work with people whose credit score is just garbage because you have resources to provide them, which is totally fine. It just people that you want to work with, your niche, and it might be people you're constantly working with. They value their agent or their clients, somebody who's not like talking shit to the barista at Starbucks. You don't want to work with that person, maybe. Maybe you do. I don't know. So again, if you don't have past interactions, you're gonna do your dream client. You want to work with millions and $5.6 million loans only, whatever. That's what you're gonna write down. All right. So now, if you've been following along, we have our goal. We want 5 loans per month. You have tasks. These are actions that you can take. It doesn't have to be daily. I'm going to go over that. You have all the actions lined up. If you were to do these things, it would get me closer to my goal. You have an audience. You have the characteristics of your audience. Who are these people? What do they do? And now we need ideas. This is like one of the biggest pain points I'm finding. I have a group called the Massive Action Takers. We have people in there, and the biggest pain point is usually like, I don't know what to post. I don't have any ideas. Okay, well, let's get over that together. Now, what you're going to do is either write down, this might be kind of hard, like on the top of your head. You're like, I know this person's cool, but I don't know their Instagram handle. That's okay. If you know it, awesome. You're going to write down 5 to 10 people in your similar niche that you value. So these aren't people that you're like, oh, I love watching UFC highlights. Like that's not going to better your business. It's a waste of time for you to watch that on your business account. You want to actually spend time doing stuff that is going to help your business. So you can't think of the people on the top of your head. The next time you're scrolling on Instagram, every time you come across like that video of you're like, oh my gosh, this person always has such good tips, or they always make really good real estate content, or they make content that I could actually even send to my clients. It's so good. You're going to favorite those people. If you've never favorited somebody, you click on like the little follow button and then you hit favorites. And now on your Instagram, when you're scrolling through your feed, you can click favorites and it's just going to be all those people. All right. The reason you're going to have this favorites tab is these are going to people you can go for inspiration when you're like have no ideas of what to do. Like I have no idea what to make a video about. You can go here. You're not going to copy their content word for word and do the exact same thing. If you want to copy Don't Buy Real Estate's videos, go for it. You can do it word for word. We don't give a shit. But some people care, so do it at your own risk. You have these 5, 10 people, they're going to be your source of inspiration. Now, you need to have a tab in your phone or on your Google or wherever where you write down ideas constantly. Every creator talks about ideas. The ideas are the most important part. So, like the lifeblood of your content. If you don't have ideas, you're not going to make a post. So, again, agents might be different. It might be a listing that you have, it might be information on the listing that you have, it might be interest rates that are happening, whatever. Here's the 9 ideas I wrote down for somebody who's trying to get 5 loans a month. So how much your audience qualifies for. So again, you want to speak to those 10 characteristics. What are these people? What are their characteristics? How much money they're making, blah, blah, blah. So you can talk, hey, are you making $100,000 a year? Here's how much you can qualify for. Here's how you determine what you qualify for, depending on your debt to income, blah, blah, blah. There you go. There's one video you could literally make. You can grab your phone right now and go, hey, if you're somebody who has a credit score of 700, you potentially can do this or that, or apply for this type of loan or not apply for this type of loan. I can make a video on pros and cons of the types of loans that you might go with. And again, you just look at you have your goals sheet, you have your ideas, you have your audience, and you go, okay, how do I relate it to this person? Okay, common terms they'll run into and what they mean. Okay, if somebody is going to be doing just regular conventional loan, what are terms that people ask you all the time? Like, what is this term? You just make a video. Hey guys, if you're somebody who has a 700 credit score, you're applying for a loan, it's a conventional loan, 30-year fixed rate. What does all this mean? Might seem boring, but there's going to be people in your network that find it valuable, right? This guy actually does know what he's talking about, right? Or they're going to be like, these videos suck and you're going to get better. Here's another hack that I like to use. This one works for any industry, for any person at any time, but you have to be actively thinking about it. So if you keep getting the same question from somebody, write that down and then just answer it in the video. Super simple. But here is the one that really I use for coaches all the time. When I'm speaking to somebody and I give them some sort of feedback or a cue and I see it click or they're like, oh, that makes sense. Like I've never heard it that way before. Stop everything you're doing, write it down as an idea or take a video. Hey guys, I was just talking to Josh right now and I mentioned if he DMs 20 of these potential clients, those are literally leads because these people are on his Instagram already. Obviously, they find value in the entertainment that he's doing, blah blah blah, and he thought that was really valuable. So if you're not DMing 20 people a day, you should. Boom. It is guaranteed value because you already said it to somebody and they got value from it. So somebody else is going to find value in that. I want to hear a few of your guys' ideas, like on the top of your head, at least 2 or 3 people. Just raise your hand and be like, yo, this is one of my ideas. And then I'm going to tell you that is garbage. Let's fix it. Let's make it better. Or I'm like, hell yeah, we're on the right track. Let's get it going. I can't see anybody. So Tyler, you want to just pick some random people? If no one raises their hand, we're stopping this right now.
All right, let's see. Let's see who's gonna raise their hand. Who's got an idea?
Josh isn't allowed to raise his hand.
I actually took
Everybody's
notes.
scared. You guys can't even talk in a Zoom call and you want to make content. That's crazy. Not gonna get leads that way.
One of mine is assignment gone wrong, like a loan assignment,
Okay.
where the buyer and the buyer's agent don't understand what a loan assignment is, and they're giving the seller and the seller's agent's issue, and then it's my sister's loan, and so now everyone's calling me because they don't understand it. That's just an idea I wrote down from.
Yeah.
We
I
can
don't
talk
even
about
know
it.
what that means. So that'd be good because then I would try understand what that is. Seller assignment.
Yeah, loan assignment. Yep.
Boom. Thanks, Josh, for contributing to the
Breaking the
ideas.
silence. Yeah.
Anyone else want to contribute?
What to do when you're in pre-foreclosure.
Yeah, that's good. I don't even know. I would watch that video right now. All right. Good to go. Thanks for contributing, guys. If you don't take action, nothing's gonna happen. So if you're here and you're just watching, you're not doing this, uh, it probably is shows how the business is going. So take action on all this stuff. All right, so here's what you're gonna do. We're gonna make your life really easy. Remember the tasks we created earlier? You should have written them down. So now you just plug and play. Here's the things you wrote down for our loan. We want to make a piece of content directed towards your audience, DM 20 potential clients, engage with the 20 potential clients, create a free guide, DM all current clients. Now you're just going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way to Sunday. And you're going to either drag and drop. You're not going to you don't have to do all of them in a day. If you did, that would be crazy and awesome. If you don't have time, you're just going to determine how much time each thing takes and allocate it into your schedule. So, example right here. That would be my Monday. That would be my Tuesday. So, if you followed along, you should have a goal. You should know the audience that you're speaking to. You should have an ideas list generated. So this is something on your phone that you're going to stay consistent with. And now you have daily action items to achieve. So these are you don't have to think anymore, right? You wake up on Tuesday, you look at your schedule. I'm DMing 20 people and engaging with clients like on all their most recent posts. Once you finish that, you're off of Instagram. You don't have to worry about it anymore. That's it. Your day's over. Next day, oh, I need to make a piece of content for today, and I need to, find 20 new leads, whatever, engage with their stuff. It's done. You posted the piece of content, you move on with your day. So my goal is to help people who hate Instagram just be efficient at it so they can still get out of it what they're hoping. And then just, take a second. Imagine if you did those action items every single day for a year, 2 years, 5 years. How many people would be getting value from it? How many people would you be in front of? How many new leads would you generate? It would be crazy. I think that's the end. Oh, yeah. And you can find me on Massive Action Takers, or you can follow the Instagram. This is like free tips and tricks. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
I like it, dude. That was impressive. Did you do that today, or did you take some time to actually do that? That's good. I like it.
I just did it today based on like that's the stuff I teach people in my group.
Nice.
In the group, people can, they can literally post their description, they can post their reel, they can post whatever like their idea generated, and they're just getting feedback on like, hey, this is what I would change, or you can win like a 15-minute call where we just audit your entire account or specific videos that you're posting, and then just helping provide resources. So again, my buddy who does 13 grand a month in coaching, it's like, hey, what's the script that you're using? How are you approaching these people? And like, stuff that people probably don't think a lot about is every view on a story. Like you can reach out to every person on there. You can click and you have a
Oh yeah.
list. Those are leads, maybe they're not ready to buy, but they're obviously watching your stuff because they're interested in what you're offering.
Yep.
And what's crazy is 50 views on a story, like 50 people. Imagine door knocking 50 houses. You can just DM 50 people, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And then you
very
have a free
powerful.
option on that course. Like, can they just go in there and check out the chat board or whatever it's called, the classrooms?
No, no, there's no free option. You
Dang, bro,
join,
not even
you
a
go
free
through,
option. That's how good this is. No free options. You like that?
well, you're
Take
getting,
notes.
I'm in there every day, constantly giving feedback. There's other like members who have done this already. They're doing it consistently that are
Yeah.
providing feedback.
The link
And the
is in the
resources are
description.
growing.
The link is also in this Zoom call. So click on it, check it out. I would recommend it. I'm in it, and I could tell you that I'm not the biggest fish in there, which is cool, right? I'm getting feedback from people who have other larger channels making way more money, and I'm learning from them every single day. And obviously, I get Rodrick in whenever I want. I can just text him, but having him in that group in a different setting almost brings out the best of him, right? It's no longer just LOL. It's he has to perform. He's in there performing every single day, and he's giving out good tips for all the members in there. But more importantly, you're around a community of people who are just like you, which is cool. I want to play devil's advocate for a second, if you will, Mr.
Yeah,
Rodrick Lopez. Is that
of
okay?
course. Of course, you can do whatever you want.
These
Do your channel.
agents, I'm an agent, right? I'm a broker, loan officer, fix and flipper, wholesaler. The list goes on and on. They're not creative, right? You see their posts. You see some of the stuff they put out. They don't have enough time to, I think, be creative. They're normal people, but they have to be real estate agents. They have to know their contracts. They have to generate leads. They have to follow up on leads. They have to show people homes. They have to list homes. You could keep going, right?
Yeah,
Now
of
you
course.
want them to be social media marketers. I know agents, they're going to just say, hey, I don't have time, even for this list. Like, I followed everything you just went over. That, it just seems daunting. So, what's like a social media light version of all this? Is there a way to just cut in half and do what you can, or is it even worth it at that point?
Yeah, you're just gonna create the action items that you can allocate time to. If you can only make one post, every week, it's better than zero posts. If you want to make a post every 2 days, whatever, but I can guarantee everybody who's an agent has a cell phone in their hand, and it does at any point throughout the day. Everybody thinks that you have to make like these edited, tailored videos. Again, just check out the Instagram of Massive Action Takers and realize I'm literally in my car going, hey guys, if you didn't know, there's a level app on your phone that you can use to make sure that your videos are straight. Or, I was talking to somebody about this and I upload it. It took me 30 seconds to record the video and post it. And then in the description, I'm just speaking to the audience that I'm trying to bring in. So the people I'm trying to work with are people who do have other responsibilities. They're gym owners, they're business owners. They don't have time to sit here and edit and do a bunch of stuff. But if you're an agent who is so busy and you're closing deals, then it's like hire somebody to spend time doing a few things a day,
So you
on
think
your
it's that
account.
important, right? You think everyone should do it. It's almost free publicity, free marketing, free outreach, but it should be done. Every person should at least get on there once a day or something.
I mean, just to stay top of mind for people, I'm sure even if you're like use your real estate account as your personal account, nobody probably cares about like you sold a house and it's like your picture in front of the house, but they probably care about how you were able to find that house, the interest rate they got, what area it's in, and the families, what, hey guys, these guys have a combined income of under $200,000. We found them this deal, and that's you just talking to the phone and you get the okay from whatever deal you close. Like, what can you talk about? Obviously, some of this stuff's public information. We talked down the buyer 20K, we got them this, blah, blah, blah. Even if it's just that, guess what? When your neighbor's scrolling through and they see you and they're like, oh, nice. They sold the house. Wow, all the things they talked about that the client had is me. And I was thinking about buying a house. I didn't think I could buy one right now. And you're just there consistently. So people are thinking about you constantly. And it's not however much time you put into it, you get out of.
Mm.
As long as you're efficient, you're not just doom scrolling. So
Yeah, yeah, which is all of us at one point in our lives.
yeah,
That's a good answer. So I do appreciate just getting on there, making it happen, doing whatever you can to do it. In terms of your challenges for
yeah.
your social media, what do you think the biggest challenges on your end, and can these agents relate to that? Are they going to have the same challenges, or are you so big now that you don't have the same challenges of just getting started?
No, I think the challenges just change. Like I can have an idea and just post the idea. I feel like that's one of the biggest pain points is people having ideas and then having the courage to just take the video and post it and disregard what are people going to think about it? Like, oh man, my aunt is going to think this is so stupid. It's like, who gives a shit? Or did people from high school who follow me are going to think that I'm just like a poser? Who cares? The challenge is now at like as you grow, if we're talking about growth, is you don't want an idea to flop. So it's like the ideas have to be better, the editing has to be better. And if it's not relatable and it flops, like I don't know, you kind of sucks. It
Yeah.
feels shitty. But
I don't want to make this about me, but I think the biggest challenge for myself isn't the ideas. It's obviously time management and getting on there. I think it's leveraging what's coming in the publicity and turning that into actual dollar signs. So let's pivot there. So how do they learn from my mistakes with our page at Don't Buy Real Estate? How do we get more leads to convert into dollar signs as an
yeah,
agent?
if we were to restart the page today, the page would still be fun, but it would be so much more focused on San Diego real estate. I know that initially it was like, let's go global, let's get eyes on this from everywhere. I would approach it as in like, let's just talk about the San Diego agents and the agents that we have here. Let's collaborate with them to generate these ideas. 90% of the videos we made at the beginning was just you and I. We can go back in time and I would be in none of them, and it would be you and an agent. It would be you and a loan officer, and we'd be highlighting these people and helping them to just get their name out there as well. The challenge is getting those. I mean, so many people talk and very few people perform and actually show up. So it's easy for me and you to just be like, meet up and do it. But that's what I would do differently is I would just really hammer San Diego. I'd focus on San Diego. I would have you go to more events. I think that's something that's really undervalued. Every time I go to a CrossFit event, it's like the follows really, really increase, but I don't really care more about I care more about the networking that happens and that occurs. It's again, it's not really the follows, it's what value can I provide to people? And in my case, like Meme for Time, it is like eyes on a brand potentially. But in your case, it would be you're going to these events, people know you're going to these events, and we're going to create content while we're there to highlight whatever it is. Maybe it's the actual event, maybe it's the information that's being shared there, whatever.
Yeah, I go to events now, and it's a headache. It's not as glamorous as people think it is, but you do have to talk to everyone, especially if it's a real estate event. Like they all recognize me now to a point where they want to have a conversation, which is where I struggle, like having a sincere relationship with them face to face when I do have them like there. And so that kind of gets draining, which is a different problem for everyone watching. You guys don't have that problem yet, but you almost want to get to that point because that's where the magic happens is meeting people face to face. Now there's a face to a name, there's a connection. Now you thank them on a DM afterwards or text them, and now the next off-market deal they get, they're sending it your way, which has happened a couple times. But for agents, let's talk Nick Bowen. Is Nick there? I see Nick. Nick's in Ventura. What he has a pretty good social media. Nick, what's your biggest challenge right now on social media, and how are you generating leads?
Oh man, the thing is, I've been so like I messed up my social media recently. I hit a really good streak where I just had once weekly type thing going on there. What I found was that it wasn't necessarily social media that brought me any kind of leads, but it increased, I guess, conversations that I was just having already. And it made it to where everybody that I was talking to, that was another talking point for them. It was like, oh, hey, I saw your most recent video or whatever it was. So it was just an easy way to break into that
Break the ice.
conversation
Yeah.
with that person. So yeah, it was more of like it kind of just boosted credibility, I think, more than anything. But that aspect of it did a ton for me. I can't say that I've had anything that just came through as like a DM to, hey, come list my house or something like that. But just having the consistency of what was going out there, I think boosted the credibility a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's the misperceived like situation here with social media. You think the deals are just going to flow to you. Someone's going to DM you, "Hey, I want to buy a house. Here's off." It happens once in a while, but I don't think that's the case, right, Rolo? You really have to work the system in a way. There's eyeballs there. How do you monetize those eyeballs and get the leads to come in?
Well, it increases your leverage, right? You have another thing to do, to promote, to whatever, especially if it's real, right? We see a lot of people with fake followers and fake stuff. And I can't speak directly to you because I don't know what you experience in public or with other agents. But for me personally, you might talk to a brand or a company and they're like, yeah, who the fuck is this guy? And then they see your social and they're like, holy fuck, this guy has 100,000 followers of CrossFit people, you know? Um, and then it just opens up opportunities because bigger people are going to talk to you. So maybe in real estate, it's like, other people who are big will let you in their circle, or I don't know. I don't know. That's a weird way to look at it, but I've gotten some crazy opportunities because of social media, things that I never thought would happen.
Well,
And
it's
I
funny.
continue to, yeah,
Everyone hears because of social media,
yeah.
right? I don't think the 15 people on YouTube, the 20 people here, I've met them maybe once, and that's not how we met. Obviously, we met years later, but everyone here is from a YouTube channel or Instagram page. So we know the power of social media is there. I don't know why we get distracted when it comes to our own business, right? We know it works. I know it works. You know it works. How did we get to this point is the key dilemma that we all skip, right? We built a relationship over time. And I think with Instagram specifically, to your point, you have the followers, you have the ability to see who's following, who's liking, who's interacting with you. Now build that relationship to a point where they're on a Zoom call with you every single week or they're sending you deals every single week. That stuff takes time. And I think we all forget about that. We all started, besides Rolo and I, right? We all started with social media. And I would say Rolo and I's relationship grew because of social media. And that's how we stayed in contact through the years. And so I think we forget that we still have to build relationships with people from the eyeballs and the leverage we get from social media. So keep that in mind. There's not one hit wonders on these social media platforms unless you're running ads. And that was my next question, Rolo. You
Yeah.
haven't ran ads yet. What do you think of ad spending when it comes to real estate agents for deals? I mean, quick
Yeah.
hits.
I actually have some of the people in the massive action takers do run ads, for their construction company or, whatever they're doing. And what I tell them is something I heard from Gary Vee a long time ago, which is so simple. It's like dumb. It's going to make you feel dumb, made me feel dumb. It was like create organic content as much as you can, see what performs the best, take the best performing ones, change the copy, the description to what you want, have a call to action, and then put ad dollars on it. You know, it's like, and when I say performance, it doesn't mean it got the most likes. It means it did the goal that you had for that post. So if that post was like, hey guys, join my school community, and you got 100 people to sign up, that's a great that ad probably worked. You did it for free. So now imagine if you put ad dollars and you have a call to action in your description. So that would be my advice is like most people aren't creating enough content. Like they don't realize, I know everybody here probably knows who Alex Hermosi is. It's like he does 3 different hooks, 12 different videos a week of the same ad. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here is like, it's not working. You made 6 fucking Instagram videos, like total, so it's like, you're not even trying, dude. And you haven't been consistent. You haven't been doing it for years. It's been a few months and I didn't generate any leads. Instagram doesn't work. No, you just suck at it. You didn't start jujitsu and like, yeah, I'm choking these blue belts out. It's like, no, you probably got your ass beat for 2 years until you got your first submission and you were like, oh my gosh, this stuff works, man. But at first you were beat up every day and you got a black eye and it sucks. So no, everybody here is not willing to get like smothered and uncomfortable, or maybe you are, right? And if you are, you will progress and figure out, what the heck happens. And another thing that you said I want to bring up is like building the relationships. I've had relationships with people on social who, didn't do anything, but I just stayed consistent. And then years later, I get an email randomly, and they're like, "You were brought up in this meeting, and we want to work with you in this." It's like, okay. So for the 2 years that this relationship was going on, they thought about me, they saw that I was continuing to work, and now they want to work with me. It's going to be the same thing with people in your guys' industry. There's going to be people that never say a word, that they don't even like anything, they don't even comment, and then they're going to go, "Oh, hey Josh, I'm ready to buy a house." And you're like, "I didn't even know that you were following me on social." And then they have 6 friends who buy houses too later. It's like, so
Yeah, and
yeah.
you keep in contact with people and you build those relationships, and you just got to get them into the funnel. You got to be consistent. You got to get them into your lead funnel essentially, and then stay on top of it, just like any other lead product. I don't know if I told you this, Rolo, but Tyler has a cool like paid ad platform that he runs leads to generate agents. So Tyler, I don't know if you have time right now, Tyler, but talk to us how you attract agents through social media.
Yeah, basically it's traffic. So I mean, there's 2 ways to get traffic. Obviously there's the organic way, which is what the conversation's been about, but you can also pay to drive traffic. And so that's where the ad spin comes into play. But I'm like and it's kind of the same thing whether like whatever the goal is, if you want to get deals closed, if you want to get buyers in your pipeline, if you want to get sellers in your pipeline, or if you want to get agents, whatever you're driving traffic for, to get people into your world, but you have some kind of offer to put in front of them that piques their interest. And you drive traffic towards that. And for some people, it resonates where they want to take that next step and get the information. So with buyers, it might be a list of newly listed properties that kind of meet the niche, so if it's a specific kind of property, like I mean with sellers, it might be, hey, like let's get you an instant offer on your property. With the agents, it might be like something related to like something they want to learn more about. I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, hey, here's how we're getting all these leads from social media, and you drive people to a training where they can learn more, and then you have a way that maybe there's a way you can help them with something above and beyond the free training, and that's where you kind of put that on their radar. But that's the process, is you're just driving people into your world.
Yeah, and I brought Tyler up because it's an angle with social media that I'm seeing more of, especially through Instagram. And maybe Rolo, you have that same type of issue. Is I'm getting a lot of other real estate agents and loan officers who are interested in my content, right? I I realized that very quickly. We're getting a lot of agents who are watching our content. How do we leverage that? And that's, of course, that's getting them to send me loans, off market deals, join a downline, stuff like that. So for you, I'm sure you're getting a lot of CrossFitters, right? It's just you're attracting what you put out, essentially. You're not maybe getting personal training clients. You're
That's not the
more,
goal,
yeah.
that was never the goal. I mean, I have to, say it's like I started Meme for Time as a passion project. It was just for fun. And now at this point, I need a product to sell, right? I need to support my family. And I don't know if I want to just sell myself essentially, right? I put a jacket on that's like NASCAR and has M&Ms and all. Like, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to work with people who give a shit. So it's a little bit different because the audience that I have are potential buyers for these companies I work with, which is why I'm so particular. I don't want to just sell all the I like all these people, right? These are people that I drop in at a gym and I spend time with them, and like I love that community. So I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, buy Olipop, chew Big Red, or fuck you, like yeah, I want to do stuff that I actually truly believe in. So it's just a little bit different. But that's why the Maction Takers Instagram is kind of cool, because that is the sole purpose is to generate sales into my community to help with social. It's like a digital product that I actually have to offer. So that people going there know what they're getting into. Whereas Meme for Time, it's more like, hey, I actually want to develop this relationship because I want to have work out with you, and if you do like the products that I'm using, cool, use them. But I don't want to like shove it down their throat. Whereas on Massive Action Takers, like, I'm giving you social media advice, come join the group, and they know it.
I
So
like it. Yeah, yeah. And I guess the point is get out there, make sure you're posting, make sure you're getting top of mind with everyone, because you never know who's going to be a buyer or a seller or a referral partner. I'm seeing a lot of people from like the state of Florida who are agents who are sending us inquiries like, hey, I see you're in San Diego. I have a deal that's moving out there. Will you give me a referral fee if I send it to you? Now I built this relationship with a random on social media just from a DM, but I never thought 2 years ago that that would even be an option. So get out there, make sure you're posting, make sure you just never know what's going to be the angle that hits and where you're going to monetize the most. And maybe it's not just monetization, it's more influence. Like you're going to have lots of influence in the industry and people are going to recognize you like they do Nick Bowen. But at the end of the day, you have to get out there and post. And Rodrick, how can they get a hold of you other than Massive Action Takers? Instagram
I mean,
or just stick them there?
Action, if you actually want an answer, like you have a conversation, Massive Action Takers will be the easiest for me to see. I get more DM. Meme for Time is gonna get lost. Like, not a flex. It's just, I really interact with everybody there. It just will take time. If you want an answer quicker on Massive Action Takers, there's less people there.
I like it. I like it. We have 9 minutes left. Anyone have any questions? Raise your hand now. Let me swipe through my screen. I know Tim has so many social media questions. Right, Tim? Kevin Wells, what state are you in? You're in Montana, right? Or where are you again?
Yes, sir.
See?
Big Sky Country.
I just got a lead in Montana and I didn't think about it until I saw your face. How about that?
Beautiful. Here
I'll
I am.
text you. I'll text you. Social media, baby. Social media.
Let's go.
I like it. Prisma, no questions?
It's all good. I was so thorough,
Social media.
Yeah, give us one. Give us one.
Well, I have the ideas. I think it's more being consistent about it, because I started my YouTube channel. I was doing really good, and then I stopped. And same with Instagram. I was making informational reels and I stopped. So I think I have all the ideas. I think it's just I need to be on a stricter schedule with them.
Yeah, I think what happens too is we get really excited when we start and people are like, I'm gonna fucking post 7 days a week. It's gonna be crazy. Twice a day, I'm gonna grow my following. When it really should be, look at your schedule. And again, how much time can I actually allocate to making this happen? so that it's not this huge influx of videos and then you fall off. Because we actually know from the CEO of Instagram, we know from YouTube, and Mr. Beast talks about it. You stop posting and your algorithm slowly phases you out because they have nothing to judge your content on. So it's actually better to be consistent less than a lot and a little. So I would say
Right.
absolutely schedule it out and know something that you can really chew on for a long period of time. If it's once a week, if it's once a month for YouTube specifically, Instagram, I would say if you're doing less than once a week, it gets really challenging, but allocate the time. And then, I mean, it's a job, if we want to be professionals, you got to treat it like a job. And if I didn't do it, I'm going to fire myself essentially, so don't
Mm-hmm.
get fired, stay consistent and have the schedule that you're running on, and make it easy at first.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I like that. Good answer. All right. Anyone else? Tyler, any questions? I know you got a bunch.
I mean, I don't have a bunch of questions. I'm just wondering how we have so many people tuning in who don't have questions.
Hey, it's okay. They're always shy. Maybe they're more shy because it's Rolo, but usually we get one or two. Maybe Rolo's just intimidating today.
That's all right.
Yeah. But they know how to find
or,
them. That's the good
or
news.
they're not interested in social, which is totally okay too.
Well, that's how they all found us. So I think they're interested. I think it's intimidating. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do to ask a question on a Zoom call that's publicized worldwide on YouTube with over 4 million followers, right? But I think they know how to find you, which is good, and they'll reach out, just like we just talked about. We don't know who's going to struggle with this in the future or now, or who just doesn't feel comfortable reaching out. And I think being here is important for the community, so we appreciate you being here, and we know how to find you, and we know how to get to you, and we know how to ask the questions now. And I think you gave us too many nuggets. Maybe that was it too. But we'll post everything, right? You're going to put that PDF into the school community with a link to your school, and people can engage with it if they want. If not, it's there for them. They can take notes and have it forever, which is cool. So we appreciate your time. We love. Oh, we got a hand. Essie, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm recovering, so my voice might go out.
That's
But
fine.
as far as whenever people know like they're bilingual and know multiple languages, do you think that the content should be on one profile or make a separate for the Spanish content?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say you could even do a carousel post, and the first piece of content is in English, and they swipe through and they can see it in Spanish. Because I'm assuming your audience are people who potentially speak Spanish, and that's kind of going through the slides that I had. It's like your audience is speaks Spanish, doesn't speak English potentially. So that's super cool. Yeah, at first I would just post it on the same one. If you find that the Spanish is doing like 10 times better and you're getting way more clients that speak Spanish, it's like, yeah, send it. Have one that's all Spanish, everything real estate in Spanish, and your audience will definitely change. But yeah, one thing that I didn't mention here, guys, is trial reels. I don't know if everybody has access to trial reels, but what you can be doing is if you're trying to like you're going to do something new, or you're unsure of how a post might perform because you're like, it's just me talking in my car, post as many as often in trial reels, and you are going to start seeing like what performs, what doesn't perform. And what's cool is the people who actually watch the trial reels might actually follow and see what you're doing. So I have a buddy. No, I can't share that. I can't share that story. But yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Must have been a
Sorry,
good story.
it's too good. It's too good. It's such a genius idea. It would be really good for agents too, but I'm not gonna just give you guys everything for free.
Dang, bro, that's cold. That's cold. We were so close.
Did we answer Essie's question though?
Yeah,
for the-
carousel. Carousel was
Okay.
the answer.
That would
Does
be
that
sweet.
get
Yeah, I'd love
lots
to
of
see
reach
that.
though? If you do a carousel, you know the difference?
No, it's just going to depend on like what your audience interacts with. And if you guys go on your dashboard, you can already see like your most liked, your most shared, your most saved. And from there, you can determine, okay, typically if something's shared, it's because people want it, like it's going to increase your reach. If it's something that's saved, it's something that people found valuable. So you can make more videos like that. There's a way to just look at your engagement and determine what your followers already appreciate and like. So.
All right, cool. Good answer. All right, Mr. Kevin Wells, last one, 3 minutes.
Right on. You may have already answered this, but If you did, just let me know. I'll go back and watch the video. What's your workflow like when you're editing videos? Do you edit right on the Instagram platform? Because I mean, I love CapCut and then having to export it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's your workflow look like? So I get stuff
Yeah, I love that.
frustrating.
So if it's a simple reel, or if I don't have my computer with me, CapCut. If it's something that's like super intricate, there's a ton of cuts, a ton of like different types of music, I'll use Final Cut on my computer. But CapCut is like goated. It's so easy. They've done a ton of work. I don't think Instagram will crash and your whole video's gone, which sucks. And the Edits app just doesn't have as many features as CapCut. So everybody here doesn't know what CapCut is. Download CapCut. It's an editing app. You can put captions. You can do overlays, which is like when you put a picture. So you can be like, I'm selling this house, and it pops up right here, and it's like it's $480,000. Wow. But yeah, so especially when I'm at events, and I'll mention this to you, Kevin, just because if you're like getting like, oh, there's what's going on. When I'm at events, I will literally film a video and edit it right there to make sure it makes sense. And I have all the clips that I need. And then when I go home, I can like make it really nice and fix it if I need to. But that's like a pro gamer tip. There's been so many times where I'll make a video with somebody that's like, I'll never get this opportunity again. And then I go home and I'm like, fuck, I really have to finagle this to work because I don't have enough clips. It didn't work how I wanted it to. So yeah, if you're out there, throw it on CapCut, do a rough cut to make sure like, okay, that should work. And then yeah, I mean, you just have to export and do all the BS. It's kind of just my same workflow.
And are you using the free version, or you pay for
No
it?
way. The paid app, dude. You can cut out your face. Like CapCut, if you guys have never used anything besides CapCut, I know we're getting like more, nerdy here, but you have to do all of the stuff CapCut does manually when I was doing it like Final Cut Pro. Like when the camera follows your face and like does all this stuff, you used to have to go like frame by frame. And most of your guys' phones are probably recording in 24 or 30 frames per second. Um, which means you have to go through all those frames. CapCut, you click one button and it's just like boom, super cool edit. The overlays, the captions, like oh, it's so cool. They did a great job.
What happens when they get banned though?
Well, if they get banned, edits is catching up. Like CEO keeps talking about it. And if here's the thing, if CapCut does ever get banned and edits isn't up to speed yet, you're gonna realize how many people don't know how to edit videos for real.
That's true.
Because they're gonna stop, like you're gonna be like, oh wow, they don't actually know what they're doing. They just use CapCut and all the effects.
That's true. That's true. I like it. All right. Well, it's top of the hour. Tyler's got to run. All these guys got a 5 o'clock meeting. We appreciate you. We'll post everything in the description on Instagram. I'm sure people will reach out because they love you. We love you. All right. What else? That's it.
That's it.
Peace.
That's it.
Later,
Thank you
Tyler.
all. We'll see y'all next week.